Hello, everyone, and welcome in. It's Aaron St. Denis at FFMadScientist. Below me is Jesse Moeller at JMoeller05, and down in the red is Jeremy Shulman at FF_Rebel. Welcome to the Fantasy Football Universe. Keep looking at the pictures at the bottom, and I'm going, don't look at Jeremy. He's going to make you laugh. Because I know right when I was about to introduce the show, you guys are waiting going, is he going to say the full name or is he going to drop an FFU again? And I was trying to keep it serious, and I looked down and I could see Jeremy giggling. It's like looking at your friends when you're trying not to laugh in grade school.
Just a word to the wise. Maybe next time just don't say below me, Jesse Moeller.
Blow me, Jeremy Shulman. All right. So much for getting rid of that explicit content rating.
Hey, I'm not in the center square anymore. There's less pressure on me today.
So.
You got, damn it. All right, I'll button it up. Let's button up.
All right, we are here. 2024 rookie sneak peek of, Lynn Polk. We went through this before the show, and I forgot how to say his name. Wide receiver out of Washington. We're off to a great start, guys.
Let's do it.
We're on top of our game today.
We're the best.
Polk grew up in Lufkin, Texas, and attended Lufkin High. There, he amassed 131 catches for 2,412 yards and 24 touchdowns. Good Lord, that's a lot of yards. If you want the full write-up, this one is done by Jeremy. Head over to fantasyfootballuniverse.com. As a three-star recruit, Polk joined Texas Tech and played for the Red Raiders for one season with modest production. After transferring to Washington in 2021, he played 2 full seasons for the Huskies, breaking out in 23 with 69 receptions, 1,159 yards, and 9 scores because I am a child. But the rest of his teammates had a disappointing national championship game. Why? Because he doesn't play for Michigan, so boo-hoo. However, he was instrumental in the semifinal win against Texas, showing up on the big stage with yet another big day. This year, went to the NFL draft, obviously, and he looks like he's going to go pretty high up there. I feel like all we've done the last 3 days is Washington and Texas players, so we got us another Washington one. I feel like the entire Washington wide receiver core and Texas wide receiver, I feel like both offenses just said, we're all going pro. Like they met up after the game and just said, let's all just go pro this year.
Yeah, fair.
Smart move.
What are your thoughts here, Jeremy? You did this one. What were your initial thoughts on Polk?
Yeah, I think a strength and a weakness of his game is that he's kind of like a jack of all trades type. He's pretty versatile. He fits in a lot of different positions, right? He's played out wide. He's played in the slot. He's got really good speed, really good hands. He doesn't seem particularly elite in any one thing, but he's very good across the board. So I liked his versatility and just the fact that, he was solid all around.
He is 6'2", 204 pounds, so he's got some decent size. He's not huge, but good size. Sophomore, which always helps. I like the wide receivers who declare early, not the ones who wait 4 years and then go back and produce in their 5th year. So he's still pretty young. What are your thoughts, Jesse?
Yeah, it's kind of a weird because with COVID and the redshirt year, like you look at his stat line and it's like freshman, because he took advantage of like what a lot of players did. So
is this the one we were talking about earlier?
Yeah, this is the one.
Freshman.
He's played 4 years, but like he had one season in Washington where his first year. The interesting thing I think this year is he stepped in when McMillan got injured, and basically he took over for McMillan. It's kind of weird. So like he stepped in when McMillan got injured, and he still produced even when McMillan came back. So it's kind of a weird situation because if you look at the year before, he landed like 600 yards. This year he blows up with that offense. So he just made a name and made it a big 3 instead of a big 2. So I think overall Polk's a good wide receiver. He's a bigger bodied wide receiver. He's not the fastest. He's kind of does a lot of in between, like Jeremy was talking about. I just think he's well rounded enough to do a lot for an offense, and the yards after contact and stuff like that's a nice bonus for him. So overall, I think he has a lot of traits that could translate well to the NFL.
All right, let's look into some of those traits. For his strengths, he has good hands and great contested catch ability. Very good target in the red zone due to his size and jumping ability. Good body control with a knack for high pointing the ball. Shifty in the screen game. Versatile. Plays well from the slot and the outside. And he tracks the deep ball well. So that's a lot of diverse skills there. He seems pretty good at everything. What was he best at? Jeremy, I guess?
They used him a lot in the screen game, in the limited, just a couple of games that I watched for him. But yeah, he didn't really drop the ball. He seems to have really good hands, and he's not separating at an elite level, but the guy always seems to find a way to get open. The thing is that, he's usually not the number one option, right? Like Jesse said, if everybody's there, right, he's a second or even third read, and then, he's open, right? So that's kind of the one knock, but overall, he does everything pretty well.
What do you think, Jesse?
It's the body control. Like, you watch him and his routes and the way he uses and positions his body, that's what stands out the most to me. He has good hands on top of it, but like, if I was going to pick one thing in his game, it's his way to set up his body best for success. And certain players are better at this than others. He's one of those guys to me.
That was a good answer. We're going to go ahead and just demote Jeremy back here again. Okay. All right. Weaknesses. His separation is an elite jack of all trades type, but doesn't really, excel at one. And the third best wide receiver on his college team, which is never a great sign. So, Jeremy, now that you're back in the center square here, what was the biggest weakness for you? What stood out?
Yeah, I think there's no real elite trait here, right? And that's kind of what we're looking for, especially to kind of hang our hat on when we're looking at the guys who are going to the next level. We want them to have something that helps them stand out above the rest of the crowd. I think it's like we talked about with Ladd McConkey earlier. He's a great wide receiver. He has all the tools, but he's kind of slow and kind of small, right? Here, we don't necessarily have those issues with Polk, but at the same time, he's not necessarily the technician that McConkey is. So it's just, he does a lot of things well, but nothing elite.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I think, like you're saying, there's no elite trait. So if there's no elite trait for an NFL team, then they kind of have to figure out the best way to use them. And sometimes it's a little harder. So he might get lost in the shuffle a little bit. But overall, it's like a little bit of concentration lacking every now and then. And it's just, he needs to refine his game just a little bit. So if he can improve his route running and his ability to get open and reading defenses, like that's the next step he needs to take to become a better overall wide receiver. Oh, muted.
You're muted.
Don't you guys always tell me you prefer it that way? Now I finally mute myself and you're going to complain? Jesus, make up your mind, guys. I'm being married all over again. All right. Jeremy says he's going early to mid-second. I agree. I think that's where I seen him. I see there's a couple of drafts where he's snuck in like 8% chance of getting into the first round. I don't see him going in the first round.
Yeah.
I like him 40s, maybe 50s. Why do you like New England there? Do you just hate Pop Douglas and you want to punish your team, or what's the deal here?
Listen, I know there's a lot of turnover on the coaching staff, right? Everybody's gone, brand new guys. But if there's one thing that New England has historically valued, it's versatility, liking to shift guys in and out here. I mean, we know that Pop can be kind of the same. Could they go for a bigger bodied guy? Sure. But I think Polk is just, for his fantasy value anyway, that's an ideal landing spot for him because it's wide open and he has the ability to command targets from, hopefully not Mac Jones, but, so hopefully not Bailey Zappi either. But, it's wide open. He should go somewhere where there isn't an established, first, second, and third pass catcher, and New England does that. The pick 34 is probably a little early, but we'll see.
I was thinking Dallas in the middle of the round.
That would be very nice for Dallas. I think any one of those teams where they need a professional wide receiver, which is what he is, and he can do a lot of different things. So Carolina early, there's Washington, Chargers, Tennessee. He could fit any one of those teams and step into like an open wide receiver situation. But he's the type of guy that'll fit in anywhere. So I'm not too worried about him, honestly.
I think he's going to end up being a Hunter Renfrow situation where he's going to have the volume in the NFL because everything you look at, good, not great. Good, not great. That's his slogan is good, not great. So I think he's going to have to volume his way there or go to a Adam Thielen Carolina situation where it's just like, hey, you're the only guy. So have fun. You get 50 targets a game. So
yeah, he might be the best wide receiver on Carolina the moment he steps in there.
Yeah. Yeah, wherever he goes, he needs to, have breakfast, lunch, and dinner with the quarterback. That's for sure.
100%.
This was one of our shorter profiles, which tells you that it's not all that he's good, but he's not great. There's not much more to say out there. He doesn't really stand out. Where do you see? You think he sneaks his way into second round of rookie drafts? Third round? I think
that's team dependent. Like he's gonna need an open wide receiver room because like we're talking about, there's nothing that stands out. And usually with these guys, like for fantasy, like you have to volume, and to get the volume, it's something he's never really done in his career. So like he's not an exceptional target earner either. So I think very much he's an NFL wide receiver that's better that side than he is for fantasy. So if like for fantasy, like I'm expecting probably to be like, late second, early third round pick. Somebody will probably take a dagger on.
He was the last pick in the third round in our 10 round drafts, or 10 team draft. So he went 30th overall.
Yeah, he's probably, like a Josh Reynolds type.
Yeah. I'm sitting there. It took me a second. I'm sitting there. I'm going, I don't mind the comparison. I'm going, he's ribbing me. Son of a dirty rat. All right. And on that lovely note, this concludes the 2024 rookie sneak peek for Lynn Polk, Washington wide receiver. For Aaron and Jesse, thank you for tuning into the fantasy football universe. I think Jeremy's there too. Head over to the site for some of his written work if you want, fantasyfootballuniverse.com. Check back tomorrow where we get another one of his. That would be Texas tight end Jatavian Sanders, because it's all about Texas and Washington this week. Take care, everyone. Have a good day.